Hi, I'm Anna, and this is Misty Mountain Reads. And today, I have my friend Sabrina with me, and we're going to be doing some book reviews. We're specifically going to be going through one-star reviews of some of our favorite books, and I'm going to present these reviews to Sabrina, and she's going to have to guess what book it is, and she'll present ones to me of some of my favorite books, and I'll have to guess. But first, Sabrina, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Sabrina. I'm a bibliophile, I guess, and I'm also a middle school language arts teacher. So it's kind of I read a lot of YA.
Yeah. And we met in college. Well, I just graduated.
I just
And
graduated.
we're still in college. We were both English majors at the same university. So
Yep.
we got our mugs. Let's
Um,
present. This is a mug of books. It's got a lot of writing books like the Chicago Manual of Style, Oxford Dictionary. Yeah.
that's awesome. I'm really jealous of that mug. All the different books. Oh no, we're gonna have to get one.
Yeah.
This is almost like back in the day. We would sit down and eat coffee, and then eat coffee.
Eat coffee.
Sit down, drink coffee, and then get kicked out of coffee shops for talking for too long. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to present first. Sabrina sent me 10, 11 books that were her favorite. And I went through and found some one star. Let me pull this up so you don't see. Can I do this? Let's see. So you don't see all of them. Nope, I can't.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay.
I
Close
won't
your eyes. Don't look away. I'm going to share my screen and then present.
Okay.
Okay. Present. Loaded. Okay, you can look now.
Okay. Oh, all right. I'm not sure if I'm ready for people to trash on my books.
All right, so first one, let's see. Well, there you go. Do you want me to read? Yeah, I'll read it out loud. Okay. Heartwarming, sure. Cerebral, you bet. For the literary snob, abso-freaking, absolutely. Look, I'm smart. I'm educated. I'm a professional woman who adores literature and loves to read. It took me a full month to get through this book. This from someone who can devour a book in 12 hours. I didn't like it. I didn't find it lyrical. I didn't find the writing in any way superior to some of the genre authors I read. It left me depressed and out of sorts, and a little pissed off.
Oh no, what? I don't think any of my books should make people angry. What books did I give you? Oh, that's bad. I don't even remember what books I gave you.
Yeah, I gotta pull up the list.
Okay, let me pull up the books I sent you.
I don't even remember. I'm gonna have to. I don't remember which one this was.
I'm an educated, a full month. Wow, lyrical. So that's interesting. When they use lyrical, I'm like, okay. The only two things where it's like I could see that maybe a little pissed off. I stopped reading The Martian and I was a little bit pissed off just because it was it The Martian?
Is that your final guess?
Okay.
I wouldn't describe The Martian as heartwarming.
No, I do really actually like The Martian. Oh yeah, heartwarming. Cerebral. A little pissed off? Took a month? Heartwarming. Okay. Heartwarming. Maybe a man called Ove?
Okay, let's see what it was. It was The Curious Incident of a Dog in the Nighttime.
What? Why did they? That book took me literally, I think, 6 hours to read. I read it in a day. It's almost journal entries. I disagree. I strongly disagree. That is just not, no.
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 Okay, So that one we strongly disagree. Took her a month, apparently. All right. This charming little story would have deserved 3 stars if it weren't that it is written as if the author can't let a single sentence go by without adding some useless and totally unnecessary comparison. In the same way, some very annoying person on the train insists on flicking the crumbs from his bacon and cheese sandwich. The one he bought from the counter inside the train station on your new trousers that you really liked when you bought them, but now that you've worn them 2 or 3 times, you find that they're a bit uncomfortable around the waist, although that could be because, and on and on and on and on. Okay, I'm not going to say what.
But do you actually agree with this one?
I don't agree with it being 1 star, but I have read this book, and I do agree that there are a lot of like run-on descriptions that kind of go nowhere.
Go nowhere? So the only thing for mine that maybe I could agree with, and it just kind of goes nowhere, might be Ready Player One. And honestly, I didn't even realize this until I read Ready Player Two. There was a lot of descriptions there. Have you read that one yet?
I've read Ready Player One. I haven't read the second one yet.
Just don't.
Okay.
I'll just ruin it to the first. Okay, maybe Ready Player. I think that's my final guess. Final guess. Ready Player One.
A man called Uva.
What? What? No, you're wrong too. What do you mean they just go nowhere?
Well, he just kind of okay, they don't go nowhere. Maybe that's being too harsh. But there's a lot of descriptions that like it just goes from one to another, like he was saying in his review.
Okay, but that review was pretty well done too. So maybe I enjoy this style of writing. The flick of bacon. What did they say? The flick of bacon and trousers. I don't even know. Okay, fine. Maybe I just like that. Just give me more detail. Okay, fine.
So this one, this is part 1. This made me laugh out loud because this is all this person said. This was a whole review. So I think they felt like it was boring. So I have another review that actually has context to it.
Nothing but sleep. Where did you find these? My reviews aren't nearly this interesting. Okay.
These were all from Goodreads.
I'm on Goodreads too. Okay. Well,
yeah. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. I'm finished with this beast of a book. My brain feels like sludge. I just want to crawl into a hole and forget all that was ingrained into my poor head. Why, oh why did I have that noble idea to read such a monster? It was fingernails to chalkboard miserable. This one was not very like helpful.
So I have just sleeping.
Yeah,
just
very
all over.
Very boring.
I didn't think this would be so hard.
Yeah, I'm afraid for my turn.
Why, oh why? Well, one of my books was Monster, and it says, why did I have the noble idea to read such a monster? But there's no way that someone could read Monster and just sleep. You just can't sleep. Okay, no, that's not my final guess. My brain feels like sludge. The only book that I've ever heard someone tell me they thought was boring, that I love, which I think everyone who says it is wrong, is 1984 by George Orwell.
Okay, let's see. Yep.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, for everyone out there, you just have to read 1984 as if it's the now. Like Newspeak, okay, that's text message lingo. It's the truth. It's the future. It's the now.
I haven't read this one. I own this one.
Ever?
Yeah, I've never read this one. I know. It's I've owned it for a while now and I haven't read it. Maybe this will be the month that I read it. But after reading all these 1-star reviews of it, I was like, oh my God.
No, it's because they teach it in school, and anything that you have to read for school is going to be boring and not fun. George Orwell, he's a great writer. I mean, this book is fun. If you look at it and you think about, like I said, the here and the now, whatever.
There was a review of it where someone had like put the date and it was like 2015 or something, and they said that they hated it, but they thought that maybe they hated it because they're being forced to read it.
Yes.
And then they updated their review 3 years later in 2018, and they said, I read it for fun and I still hate it. Anyway.
No, I think that maybe it just brings up bad nostalgia. And so they think that they still hate it, but no, they don't. It's because mean teachers like me who force them to read things.
They didn't genuinely give it a second chance.
They just had still some hate in their heart.
Okay. Oh. This one might be a little bit more obvious.
Yes, I already know. Sorry.
Okay. One of the worst sci-fi baby cyberpunk books. I don't know what that means. I've read in a long time, replete with Mary Sue, self-placement, and endless self-wankery. Now, somebody else, there was multiple reviews that used that word, wankery.
Uh-huh.
While I appreciate the premise of the book, could have been somewhat interesting, the delivery was greatly flawed, and the entire work was steeped in mindless, flatly delivered references for fan grabbing. Character dialogue is stilted and unnatural, leaving me wondering if this started life as a text RPG between the author and friends.
I think, well, yeah, that's Ready Player One, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I agree. I agree. No, it's fair. It's kind of just fan grabbing. It's just, I love the 80s. It's sci-fi. Some of the characters are stilted. Okay, that one.
Yeah, I agree. I liked Ready Player One, but it did feel overwhelming in its 80s references. Like, there was I did get quite a few of the references. I did not get the majority of them, probably.
No. And the characters are pretty unrealistic, but I think I just liked the idea of it, and because I could get on board with the idea, I kept them reading.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think these are the last ones. Okay. The author's a homophobic and ableist piece of garbage, and this should have been gay AF. That is all. Now, this is the first review of this book. There was a second one that I have included because I thought it was funny how contradictory it is. I like this book because I can relate to it, sort of. I refer to this because our school is a little screwed up and naughty. Also, we have druggies in our school and the cool kids. One thing I disliked about it was that the characters seemed too lovey-dovey and gay. So one person wished that it was more gay. Person B wished that it was less gay. So I'm not sure what to do with that information.
Well, I'm a little confused by both sides because when I think of screwed up and naughty druggies and cool kids, I think of the outsiders with like druggies, cool kids. I mean, I guess it could have had a little. I mean, I guess they could have added some gay characters. I mean, that would match, I guess. I don't even know. I don't really see either side, but I think it's the outsiders.
Yep.
Okay. So now I'm trying to go back. I mean, I read that book. I don't agree that there's a gay thing at all. I think I would agree with the first one. Maybe it could have used more gay themes because maybe the second author was a little bit of that comment.
Well, that's all I've got.
All right.
Got most of them right.
I only got 2. I know I got 3 right. Go me.
Got Outsiders and Ready Player One and
1984.
Yeah, 1984.
Now I'm gonna have to reread The Outsiders and figure out how it could have been more gay, or how it was gay.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what's confusing me the most.
Can I look?
There you go. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
All right, so 1-star reviews. Book 1. This book is deathly boring, and I can't bear the thought of trying to finish it. Nothing happens. Seriously, nothing happens. Also, the characters are incredibly bland. I really don't need to find out any more about them and their crappy lives, especially the girls who want to be independent of and the rest was cropped out.
Okay. Okay, so there's girls in it.
There are girls in it.
um Gosh, oh
And
boy.
nothing happens.
That's not true of any of the books that I read. I sent you. Okay.
For this book, there were actually 4 reviews that say, nothing happens. And I'm like, oh gosh.
Is it Wildwood Dancing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Good job. So why do you think people think nothing happens?
It's funny. I literally finished rereading this book last night. So
Oh, you
that's
did it twice.
um that's interesting to me because a lot of things happen. I think that if you stop reading at like the halfway point, then you might think that because there's a lot of build up to plot points.
Oh, they did say did not finish.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe they didn't get to, I wonder how far they got because I would say the first 50 to 100 pages are kind of slow
Right.
in building up the world because there's a lot of important elements to the world. If that makes sense.
No, yeah, that makes sense. I haven't read it,
I
but
strongly disagree with the nothing happens because there's like 3 or 4 big events that occur. So,
I don't know. Maybe it's not big enough. Nothing seems. Let's see. All right, good job. All right, so we have some bleeps, but I want you to close your eyes because the author painted a picture for me for book 2.
okay, I'm closing my eyes.
The weather is beep, roads icy, snow dirty, and it's raining. A whole day is filled with boring lectures, and so I open this book, hoping to cure my boredom, and I fall asleep. What a mess this is. The world wasn't fully developed and didn't live up to its potential. Author could have done so much more, but we were only given scraps of information. There was nothing happening the whole time. It was so boring. I don't even know how many times I yawned. So just imagine really crappy weather, and then you open up a book, and then it also feels crappy again. That's book 2. And they got 50%. I appreciate that they said when they stopped.
Now, I would agree with this review about several books that I've read this year, but not the ones that I sent you. So, okay, I've got 3 guesses. Either I think my first guess is A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos. I don't know how to say her last name. That's my first guess. Then I would say Sabriel by Garth Nix or Summers at Castle Auburn by Sharon Shin. I think it's one of those 3. That's my guess.
What's your final guess, though?
Ugh. Ah! See, in all of those, you could never say that nothing happened the whole time. Okay, I'm gonna go with A Winter's Promise.
Wow, you're on fire. Yes, and I appreciated that they wanted to read A Winter's Promise when there was dirty snow and it's raining and it's terrible. Good job. Yes. I just appreciated that. I read it and I laughed because I really did. I was like, okay, boring weather. It's terrible. And then this book's boring. It sounds really sad.
Now, they did only get to page 214, and this is another one that has a slow start. But a lot still happens within the first 200 pages. Like, she literally moves to a different world, basically.
Maybe the weather, I feel like that could have been a contributing factor. I would sleep if the roads are icy and it's raining and it's horrible.
Yeah. And the world is very icy and snowy. So that probably didn't help. Like, it's like deathly cold. So probably not the right one to read if you were also very cold.
Yeah, maybe you just need to read a summary book, Helen.
Helen.
That's their name. Helen. Sorry to all the Helens out there. All right. Book 3. Dull, dull, dull. I forced myself to finish this, and it was a complete chore. How How has this so many good ratings? The characters are so drab and soulless, and the story so ridiculously simple and predictable. And not to mention the prose, the dictation, and irritating and overly polite conversations. Seriously, gah! If you have any passion for reading, I recommend avoiding this one. If you'd rather your fire not be extinguished, sorry, author's name, but I'm no fan of yours.
Simple and predictable. Overly polite conversations. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Sabriel by Garth Nix.
Yep. Wow.
Wow.
I'm so good at this game. Just think about all the reasons why someone might hate your book so you can like refute it. How do you know all this?
Okay. I think that one, I don't agree with it at all, but Soulless kind of almost makes sense because it's about someone who like works with dead souls and like there's it's like necromancy kind of, but I haven't read it in a while, so I don't really want to give a description of it because I don't want to be wrong in my memory of it. Yeah, so that's what made me think of it to begin with.
Okay.
And it is kind of like a dark setting.
Yeah, so anyone who's dealing with death and it's dark probably needs to be soulless. Soulless sounds like it fits the mood.
Yeah, and the overly polite conversations, because a lot of the other, that helped narrow it down, because a lot of the other books, I would have said that of A Winter's Promise or Wildwood Dancing as well, but I'd already guessed those. So that helped narrow it down.
All right. You like polite books. Okay. Let's see what Debbie says. Okay. 1 out of 5 stars. I did finish it though. I'm so glad I finished this book. It's horrible. I'm currently ranking it as the worst book I've ever finished reading. And good for me for finishing it. At least some shred of linear or lyrical decency showed up at the end. Nope. Spoiler alert, it just keeps getting worse.
So they finished it, but they hated it. That's, I mean, good on them for pushing through? Question mark.
That's what they said. Good for me.
I don't know. Maybe they shouldn't have. It just keeps getting worse. Okay. I'm trying to think of things that spiral. Okay. Like that just like things just keep happening.
Poor Debbie, man, it was like the brunt of COVID too.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Throne of Glass on this one.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Do I get another guess, or are you gonna tell me?
Oh, I thought, okay. You sound like you're still thinking. Do you want me to tell you?
Okay, let me. We Hunt the Flame?
No.
Okay.
The Starless Sea.
What? Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad.
I mean, does it get better?
Do what?
Does the book get better?
I felt like, okay, I will agree that things do keep happening. But I don't agree that it keeps getting worse. I felt like I loved the Starless Sea for the opposite reason, because I felt like it was confusing to start with, and you kind of are working with scraps of information, and then as you keep reading, it starts revealing more and more, and you're like, oh, so that's why that happened, or that's why that was important, and you start to see that things that you were kind of unsure of at the beginning of the book are like suddenly have significant meaning.
So we need our earlier friends to read this one because everything's happening.
Yes, everything is happening.
Helen, if you're out there. Right. This one just made me laugh. So Jane said, if this bleeping thing gets turned into a movie, kittens will be shedding tears. The sky will no longer have the ability to form rainbows, and children's laughter will disappear from playgrounds. I'm serious, y'all. My reaction to the book, and this is actually a GIF, I should have left it, but AKA incoherent words of anger. And that review did stop there.
Kittens will be shedding tears. The sky will know.
No more rainbows.
Wow, that is strong. Okay. Wow, I can't imagine. That is so strong. Is it the historian?
Uh-uh.
I have no idea. I can't imagine using such strong language about any of my books that
I think when you know what it is, you're gonna be upset, deeply hurt, and upset.
Well, I'm already deeply hurt. I don't even know.
You don't even need. Okay. Throne of Glass.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so Throne of Glass is not my favorite book.
But it's really popular. So, like, I'm sure, Jane, I'm sorry, it's probably going to be turned into a movie. It's a really popular book.
Yeah, and the things that she said, like, things that I would have said about Throne of Glass that were negative. The prose is not the best. She wrote the book when she was 17, 18, I think. So you can tell that she hasn't been writing for a long time. There's a lot of, like, repeat cliche phrases that she just, like, token words that she uses a lot. But kittens will be shedding tears?
No more rainbows?
Like, what impact on the world does she think this book has that it would be, I don't know. That's bizarre to me.
Children's laughter gone.
God. It's an entertaining story. Even if the writing itself is not the best, the story is pretty entertaining. So what? I don't know. Okay.
Last one. Okay. January 3rd, 2014. Dear, I think it's Khan. Dear Khan of 2006, I am your older, wiser self. Many things will happen in the years that that have elapsed before you become the me of today. You will fall in love. You will break hearts. You will get your hearts broken. Karma's a beep. You will change jobs. You will graduate from college. Most importantly, you'll become more intelligent. You will learn the art of advanced thinking because really all college teaches you is how to get good grades by regurgitating textbooks. When you are older, as you begin to read critically, you will learn to appreciate a good book, and you will be able to identify literary I don't even know the beeps. Literary beep when you see it. That's all this book is. Literary BS. This book is dramatic, rubbish, artistic gibberish. It is nothing more than a glorified travel brochure.
Okay, I don't know what this book is, but I do agree with the college teaches you how to get good at by regurgitating textbooks. That is pretty accurate for at least some college majors, for sure.
Yeah.
Literary
Literary BS.
what do I have that would be considered? Okay, I'm gonna go with the historian on this one.
Yes, the historian.
Yeah, because
I read that. But a lot of people said something like the travel brochure. So a lot of people mentioned that.
Yeah, so this one takes place in it's kind of a twist on the Dracula story. And it moves through time. So there's like telling about past time, and I haven't read it in a while. But yeah, there's a lot of travel involved. So that makes sense.
So you think it's dramatic rubbish?
I don't think it's rubbish. I don't think it's literary BS. I could see, I thought it was very well written, but I could see if you don't like things that make you think that you wouldn't like it, because there's a lot of thinking critically about stuff and like trying to put clues together. It's like a mystery. So if you don't like putting clues together,
I don't know. This book made Khan really think critically. They
but then
said,
he'll learn to appreciate
to read critically.
You'll be able to identify literary bullshit when you see it. And I'm like, are they saying that this is pretends to make you think critically, but it doesn't actually? Is that their
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I thought that this book, the fact that it made them want to write a letter to themselves to reflect on their years of living, obviously made them think critically. They're responding to themselves over the years. I don't know.
Man,
I haven't read it.
I
It's
really
so
liked that.
sad.
It was really good.
Oh no. That's it. That's all I got. You seem so distraught.
I guess it makes me sad when people are like, "Man, this is crap," and I'm like, "But it made me feel things." like, I'm like, how do you have a soul? I guess that's what I'm like. How do you have a soul and think that that's crap?
I don't know. Questions about being soulless. Yeah, no. I don't think I'm super. You got actually more sad as we went through the reviews, and I got more like, I don't know, more aggressive, like, no, you're wrong. Oh, well,
I agreed with some of the points that people made. Not in that, like, I would also make, like, not, okay, let me rephrase. I agreed in that I could see why they felt that way. I didn't feel that way when I read it, but I can see how if you had a certain perspective or if you didn't like a certain type of writing, you would feel that way. Don't agree with the Throne of Glass one because that just didn't make any sense.
children's laughter gone.
But specifically gone from playgrounds. Is it gone from everywhere or just playgrounds?
Also, I don't really ever hear children actually laughing on playgrounds. Usually they're crying because they've been pushed down.
Yeah, or screaming, yelling.
Yeah. The only one that I agree with on my end would probably be Ready Player One.
Mm.
And I see a lot of people who don't like 1984, but I read it. I read Spark Notes when I was supposed to read it for school, but I read it later on and I genuinely enjoyed it. So I think school is the reason why people hate it.
Yeah, that makes sense. There
I
was
don't,
another one that I looked at reviews for, but couldn't find one that was like spoiler free enough that it would still make sense that people had to read for school. I can't remember which one it was now, but people hated it because they were being forced to read it.
okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that this made you sad.
It's okay. I will survive.
Maybe I'll read them and I'll let you know if I agree with Helen or or not. I'm sorry, Helen. Um,
Just the way you said her name was so aggressive. Like Helen.
I wasn't trying. Well,
like how you would say Karen, like that was the equivalent tone.
oh no, this might be the new time. Everyone can go out and just use Helen. Anyone who makes fun of books, stop being such a Helen. Sorry, Helen. Oh no. Oh no. Well, yeah. Not
I
sure.
think this was a fun exercise, if a little bit depressing.
Yeah. Maybe it'll help me with my book recommendations in the future.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like usually I like 1-star reviews tend to be very aggressive. Like
Mhm.
like they don't see the book having any redeeming qualities for anyone.
All right.
And I feel like when I review a book, even if I didn't like it, I try to see how other people might like it, Be like, okay, this wasn't for me, but I could see like if you really like this type of like genre or writing style or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that another good exercise might be 2-star reviews. Someone who's like, okay, this is above a 1.
Mm-hmm.
I see your point, and maybe that would help.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Z's made me really sad. That was the only one, just all of the Z's.
Oh man.
Oh well, that was good.
Okay.
Well,
Well, this was fun. Thank you everyone who watched and made it all the way through. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, see you next time.
Bye.